Jim, do you think a point's probably a fair reflection on how the 90 minutes went today?
I think a point is fair, James, yeah. I thought the game lacked quality at times. We knew it was going to be a battle. We know the way that Aberdeen go about it. They've quite direct in their approach to Sam Cosgrove. I thought we coped with that aspect of it really well, both in terms of pressing their backline, not allowing them to pick their heads up and drop nice balls into Cosgrove, but also when on the odd occasion it did come forward, I thought Akin and Connor were outstanding. They really were. I think that's as quiet an afternoon as Sam Cosgrove will have had for a long time. So there are a number of positives we can take in terms of the physicality side of it, in terms of the way we stood up to them, and we fought and scrapped for every ball. I've never ever had to question commitment or effort from the players, but we need to show a bit more composure in the final third. We need to be a bit braver in terms of the decisions that we make, and try and play a few more killer passes as opposed to being safe on occasions. But look, there is, it's a point in the right direction against a very good Aberdeen team, against a side who have been sitting second or third in the table for the last 5 or 6 years. So in reflection, a point is probably a good result.
You mentioned Akin and Connor there. How pleased have you been with the way they've gelled over the last few games?
They've been excellent in training, they really have, and they've settled into the group brilliantly. That's probably more to do with the actual group that they've came into, because there's so many good boys in there and they've made them feel very welcoming, which is great. And yeah, in terms of how they go about things in training, we knew what we were getting. In terms of them as characters, both being captains at their recent clubs, and I think you can see that today in the leadership qualities, the way they're organising people around them, and physically both very strong, very quick. We're having that pace in the back line. It allows us to play a little bit higher up the park as well, which is good. So yeah, I couldn't be any more pleased for those two boys, because they won't come up against too many strikers in this league as physical as what Cosgrove is today. So if they can cope with that, then they can cope with anything.
With McGuinness and Stephen McGinn out, was it an easy decision to put the captaincy on Foles?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm quite lucky that I've got a number of players within the squad who could have easily took the armband. Vaclav in goal, you've got Flinney at right back, but I didn't have any hesitations in terms of giving it to Sam. He's probably the most experienced player in the squad. He leads by example, and it was a simple choice in the end, I think.
By the time the game against Hibs comes around next week, the transfer window will have shut. Do you expect much ins and outs?
Well, we need to bring in another couple of players, and we're trying, extremely hard behind the scenes to get that done. We were delighted to get the 3 in as early as what we did at the start of the window. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, if you like, but after that, we thought we had 1 or 2 over the line, and then things change at their parent clubs where players get injured, and all of a sudden the player that we're after now is in contention. So there are a few frustrations along the way when you're trying to do any transfers. Nothing is ever as straightforward as what you feel, but we're confident of getting a couple in before the window shuts, whether that's in time for the game, whether they'll be in time to get gelled into the group in time for the trip to Easter Road. We'll see what happens. We would like to try and get them in at the start of the week, as opposed to dragging on into Thursday and Friday and things like that. So we'll see what happens, James, but we'll continue to work behind the scenes.
Today, Jamie McGrath missed out again, Kyle McAllister as well, and Stephen McGinn. How close are they all?
Jamie McGrath should be okay for next Saturday, which will be great to have him back in with the squad. Kyle McAllister trained this week. We hope that he'll train again next week. If he does, then he'll be in contention for a place in the squad as well. Kirk Broadfoot, great to have the big man back on the bench today. Leads by example, great role model for the younger players, and again a great option for me off the bench. Who else is there? Gary McKenzie's still about a week, 10 days away, and Stephen is probably another 3 or 4 weeks away. So, once we have a fully fit squad, then we're in a good place. But at the moment, we've just had too many knocks and niggles, and it's affected us greatly in the last couple of months. But we're due a little bit of luck on that front. So hopefully, after these boys come back, we won't have too many after.
Jim, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Jamie.